it's Christine. It is time for my first layout with the Color Rush Studio design team. And we have a sketch challenge, you guys. Here is our sketch. And it's a Color Rush Studio sketch. So I don't know if Charlotte made it or somebody on the team, but it is definitely exclusive to Color Rush Studio. And what we have is, this is so neat because it goes perfect with these papers too, you guys. And I'm going to have to move Saturn in just a second. But we have this floral out here, which I think might even be the floral from the, I know it is. It's the floral from the kit. And then we have, you know, a square here. Could be white cardstock. I'm going to use paper, pattern paper. Then we have our circle. There's a layer between. I think I'm going to grab some black cardstock to put in between these two layers. And then we have some torn papers behind, like this notebook punch thing. Titles along the circle, big florals, journaling down here. So what I've got going on is I want to use my picture. I've been holding this picture. This was our little announcement image off of Instagram. And I'm going to use this as my picture. So I only have one picture, not two. But you guys, again, like I said, this is actually the floral in the sketch. So I'm going to use that. I will probably gut it. Actually, I'm going to use the gutted piece for the mat for the circle. That might be what I do there. So we'll gut that. This is going to be my little home paper here is going to be the background. I think this is going to be my circle. And this is going to be a little purple piece that the picture sits on. I'll do the notebook punch and stuff. So I think I'm going to get a piece of black cardstock to map this piece here. And then I may use this gutted piece to do the circle. And we'll go from there. So that's what I'm starting with. So let me do a little cutting and I'll be back on in a second. Hey, you guys, really quick check-in because I almost forgot to tell you. So I've already gutted the floral, got my little black mat, put my house paper down. I got to do the circle. And as I mentioned, I'm going to do the circle mat in this, and then, you know, my other circle in this. And what I forgot to mention is our challenge also, in addition to the sketch, is to stitch. And y'all know I'm not a stitcher. I didn't even have needles or anything. However, the other day when I was cleaning out my drawers, I found these needles. So I'm going to attempt to stitch. We will see how this goes. I am not a stitcher. I may put some of it on camera, like the beginning of it, so y'all can watch my foibles. But I have to pick out my string and all that too. I'll figure it out. But anyway, I did find some needles. I think I'll have to use this big one, you guys, because I don't think I can do small ones. My eyes are too old, and I'm pretty certain I won't be able to do it. But so I might try this big one. So anyway, I do have to do stitching. So I will cut my circles, and we'll get back on in a second. Okay, you guys, this turned into a little bit of a longer video because I added the stitching. So the first thing I'm going to do here is take this Creative Memories circle cutter, and I'm going to cut out the circle of the black here. I mentioned this to you that I was going to gut that floral and use the back side of it as the circle mount because it showed like a dark color, you know, matte. And then I'm going to do the same with the light pink. I'm going to cut my little circle out of that. I'm going to use a different blade and all that. But I don't want to forget this. I'm going to make sure I say it at the beginning because if you guys bail on me toward the end, you know, which I get that sometimes they get long. I want to make sure I mention to you that Color Rush Studio, she does have some specials, I think, going on for signups. So I'm going to have the link to the website down here. So make sure you go check it out. She was kind of sharing with us that, you know, she's growing and she's looking to make sure that she's offering specials to new, subscribers and that sort of thing. So make sure you go check out the website. There's some specials and stuff there. So I've cut this second circle. Now that's going to be the one I end up stitching on, you guys. So I've got to kind of organize myself over here. It's going to go on top of that dark paper. And I'm going to hang on to these two that I've just cut these. I cut them out of the center on purpose because look at that. You can kind of see I'm going to be able to do something. I'm not sure what yet with those papers. Maybe not those sides or whatever, but they look kind of neat, I think, layered on top of each other. So we'll see what I end up with that. But here's where I'm looking at this going, okay, I know I need to stitch, you guys. So I went over and I got my other circle cutter, which is funny because I was actually looking at a different circle cutter even yet still online. But anyway, I've drawn a little circle here because I'm like, okay, I need to make little holes or something because I just know I cannot stitch just freehand or whatever. So I have this little tool. It's from Stampin' Up! From years and years and years ago that lets you, it's like little holes that you can poke. There's a little pokey tool, and it's a 1/4 inch. I think there's different widths or whatever, but I picked the 1/4 inch, and I kind of spun it a little bit. So I went around on my circle, my little black circle line that I had drawn, and this is on the back side, obviously, that I drew that line. Now, y'all, I'm going to have to get on YouTube and I'm going to learn how to do a back stitch. And I actually do it wrong initially. So, I hadn't got on YouTube yet. I thought, oh, I can do this, right? And so I start stitching, and then I realized I'm not doing this right or something. It felt strange to me. And I ended up with, it was not a bad looking stitch, but it just wasn't what I intended. And so I'm going to do a few stitches here, and then I'm going to go over to YouTube and look up how to do a back stitch, and I'll start over. I don't do too many, but you can kind of see what I'm doing. I'm basically using my holes that I poked. I did not use the largest needle, by the way. I used the third largest needle. So I was able to make it work, though, you guys. This took me a little bit of time. I'm not going to lie. I was like, holy cow. And my friend Miss Tara over at the Paper Snob, she stitches all the time. And I text her and I said, girl, I stitched. I can't believe it. It's the first time I've ever done this on a scrapbook layout, at least that I recall. It's been 25 years, so maybe I've done it, but I don't recall doing it. So I don't know that I'll do it very often unless it's required, because it just takes me forever. And I got to get layouts done, you guys. So I have done my stitching by now. And so here's where I'm going to kind of take my purple and I'm going to cut into I'm going to make my little photo block. I have mounted the photo on white cardstock, and I'm going to trim this up just a little bit here. Do I cut the whole sheet? I think I cut this whole thing down. I know that I need it to be, a little notebook punchy thing here. So I'm going to go across the top. I think I actually even narrow this up just a little bit more. I'm going to use this and I'm going to tear it because, of course, the sketch has a little tear. By the way, I did put the sketch at the very beginning. Hope you caught that, the sketch that we're working from. I mean, I showed you in the video, but also at the very beginning. If you want to go back and freeze frame it or whatever, you can see the actual sketch. I did that as an image there. So I'm going to use my notebook punch, and then I'm going to tear it. And then I'm going to actually, I think, even make it a little more narrow because I think it was a little too wide for my photo there. I'm kind of organizing myself. Now, I'm going to be honest and tell you guys, I know that the house paper is busier than the sketch kind of showed, and it does add a lot of pattern. I mean, there's a lot of pattern on this layout, you guys, but I love that house paper. And when I put the title on here, hopefully you'll kind of get why I use the house paper. So, and I hope I'm not too presumptive. I don't think so, but I love my little title that I came up with with the homes. I'm going to use word homes here. The little houses are so freaking cute. I just love this paper. So I'm going to build my little photo block. You see I've got it torn. I'm just going to narrow it up a little bit because I thought it was a little too wide for my photo. So there's that. I will actually end up putting that up on foam because the stitched paper there is dimensional. I mean, it's got some depth to it because of that string. So I'm going to end up putting that up on foam. I need to make these little two banners in the upper left corner. I think I do that with my border punch, and I didn't do that on camera because I just ran over, grabbed my border punch, punched the two ends, and I'm going to cut those in half in just a minute. But here's where I'm going to kind of start building. So the sketch showed like some little torn horizontal pieces, and there was actually 3 patterns. I don't use 3 patterns. I only use 2 because, frankly, I was recognizing that I had a lot going on, you guys. So I'm going to use 2. So I'll use this side on for 1. And there was a little plaid in this sketch, so I was kind of happy with this. I'm going to tear this up a little bit. And then I'm going to flip it over, and I'll use kind of the other side to build another little second pattern. But I don't do 3. I was kind of looking at the papers and stuff, too. And I would have had to cut into another piece of paper. And I'm like, I need to do at least 3 layouts with this kit, and I don't know what I'm going to do yet. So I hate to cut up too much more. And I'd already cut into this, so we're good. So I love this little pattern too right here, this pretty little floral here. So it's real complimentary to that little plaid. So I'm going to tear this up, and then I'm going to actually cut it so it's wide enough to go behind the photo. I should have done that probably with the first one too, but I didn't. So that's going to go behind. I'm going to organize that just a little bit. And then in a moment, I'm going to I'm going to start getting into the embellishments, you guys, because this is just the base. I haven't even glued my papers down yet. Well, I did the big pieces, but I got to do my circle. I'm going to get out my tape gun and all that. And y'all, that thing runs out of tape. I don't know if I'll leave that on camera. I don't think so. I might. I don't know. But it runs out of tape, so I got to load that up. I need to buy some more, y'all. I'm running low. And I got to get ready for 30 days of sketches and all that kind of stuff, too. So I do decide to scuff the edges of the circles, mostly because because the stitching and all that, I felt like it just needed a little bit of extra texture. It looked a little strange without having done something. So I rough up the edges with the little scufferator there. And I'll glue those together in just a second, and then I'll glue I also scuff the edge of the purple paper, by the way. I don't scuff the edges of the torn papers, but and I don't scuff the edge of the photo mat, the white photo mat. I like that alone. But I'm going to glue these down in just a moment. Maybe I did take off my ATG gun running out of... Nope, this is where it happens. Like, dadgummit, there it is. Oh, well. So yeah, I'll just tell you real quickly. Y'all know this is the little Instagram announcement. I was so excited, you guys. I think I said this in my post. There's some powerhouse ladies on this freaking team here. It's just amazing. I'm such a fangirl of pretty much all of them, honestly. And I was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I get to create with these ladies. So I'm pretty excited. And so my title is going to end up being My New Homies. Obviously we have like a little Facebook group that we're all in, and it's just fun. And I'm probably looking like a goofball already, but hopefully they're kind enough to ignore my silliness. But I'm pretty excited about it. So my little homes on here is for my homies. I wanted to use the houses and the ephemera, honestly, really badly, but it just wasn't going to work. And the sketch had florals, so I'm going to end up in a second getting into the ephemera with the florals. And here's where I'm going to put the foam up underneath there. The photo just needed to be the texture from the string and all that stuff. I just needed to lift it up a little bit. So I'm going to put this up on foam. And then I'm going to start getting into my little tray of ephemeras with my florals and that sort of thing. I already kind of generally knew that I definitely wanted to use the floral pieces because there's quite a few of them anyway to choose from. I do introduce the gold foiling. I actually had one more little floral that kind of wasn't shown on the sketch, but I think that's totally fine. That's totally fine. You don't have to do a sketch exactly the way it's done, right? Okay, so I've got that glued down. I'm going to glue my little banners. I did put a little bit of foam tape also on the very top of the little banner because, again, with the multiple layers of the papers there, it needed a little lift. So I've got some, you can kind of see I've got a little foam tape right there on the top of it. So I'll lay that down. And then I'm going to get into, what do I get into next, you guys? I can't remember if it's the ephemera. I think it's the ephemera. Nope, I'm going to do the title. I love these stickers, you guys. These are so neat. Nope, maybe I don't. Maybe I do the ephemera. Y'all have slept since then. No, I haven't really. It was just this morning that I did it, but I'm still on cold medicine. You guys, I don't know if you can tell, I'm still kind of stopped up. Maybe I do the title first. I think I do the title first. So I'm going to pull out homies is what I'm going to pull out here. I love the little colored layers. Like there's 3 layers, and I showed that in the unboxing. I think it is so neat. You get multiple colors on these stickers here when you look from the side. And they're pretty dimensional. So when you, like I said, you look to the side, you can kind of see them. It's really neat. I come on the outside of the string at first, but I will move on the inside because it just wasn't laying like I wanted. So I'm going to pull that up inside there. It's going to be homies. I spell it Homies. I hope that's spelled right. I feel like it is. Not sure that's a word you learn in school. And so I'll also have to go off into my stash, though, because I need to get some little white letters. I'm going to use white letters for my new, and I'll just get some little doodlebug letters in a minute, but I'll have to get those in a second. I'm not going to do that right this moment. And then I'm happy with this, but I got to get into my florals over here. So I'm going to kind of fuss around inside my little container, and I'll pull out a little gold floral. I'll put florals on the left side where the sketch showed it. I will add a couple little small pieces, too. I think this turns out so cute, you guys. I know there's tons of pattern, but I think it's fun. I think it's got a lot of movement. It's energetic, and I think it's perfect for this layout. And I love this sketch too. It was really cute. I really enjoyed doing this. I think it's really good when a challenge makes you do something you wouldn't normally do. I didn't used to do mixed media either, and then about a year or so ago, started getting like Scrapbook Crafternoons and things like that, where mixed media was being introduced, and it was like, okay, Christine, you got to get into mixed media. And now I'm kind of, venturing out into watercolor pencils and all that kind of stuff. So I encourage you to play along with sketch challenges or scrapbook challenges or any of these hops and that sort of thing. They'll stretch you a little bit and make you, grow your creativity. All right, so here's that little floral there is not technically, I think, in the sketch, really. The one I just stuck on the right-hand side, but I really like how that is. And then I decided I had to have these little butterflies, you guys. I think these little butterflies are so cute. They got that little shiny top with the glitter. And I put 3 of them to give myself my little visual triangle. I'm trying to figure out that little floral over there. I'm just kind of examining. You'll notice when I'm almost kind of done with things, I'll start touching. I almost added some sequins, you guys. I almost added sequins. I looked at it, but I had a lot going on already. I was like, no, Christine, don't do that this time. It's a little more than you need today. So I do look at these other little florals and stuff here, though. Yeah, I think I maybe add one right there, and then I'll grab one more, and it's going to go up in there as well. I'll use Nuvo glue to attach most of this. I'll do a little bit of foam underneath a couple of the floral edges. You guys have seen me do that before. I think I'm just digging around. Like I said, there's plenty to choose from, so I'm kind of like, okay, what can I do here? I love that little truck, you guys. I got to figure out a way to use that in the near future. I thought about putting that little piece of, that little purple phrase there, but purple on purple just really wasn't going to work. So I decided against that. And so I've glued everything down, or I'm working on it. And there's my butterflies. I'm gluing those down. I think next is maybe when I do the letters. I don't think I've done the letters already, have I? I can't tell you guys. Nope, here's where it is. And I'll just pull out these little doodle bugs. It's a little hard to see on top of the purple with the white flowers, but I liked it anyways. I didn't really want to use any other color. I thought the white was going to be, it's kind of dainty and pretty and a little bit feminine. What do I do next? Oh, the journaling. So I don't actually put on camera, but I'll just get a piece of white cardstock and just write, a couple of lines of journaling about being honored to be on the team and everything. And I was excited. And I'll cut that and then just lay it in that lower right corner where the sketch showed the journaling. I don't make you watch me just handwrite that out though, but you'll see it in just a moment on the slowdown here. And you can kind of see my journaling down there in the lower right. And that is my very first layout, you guys. I did something I don't ever do, which is stitching. And I've added all kinds of fun colors and shiny things and all the good stuff. So thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Again, make sure you check out the website. I'll have a link and everything. And of course, check out all my fellow design team members. They're going to have a very, I'm certain, inspirational layouts as well. And I think we're all supposed to play along with our sketch challenge here. So I think that will be fun. So you guys have a wonderful day and we'll see you next time. Bye.